Beyond the headlines, Deborah Roberts' silent struggle during Al Roker's recovery. Before the headlines, before the cameras, before the reassuring smiles that greeted America each morning, there was a quieter story unfolding behind closed doors. For decades, Al Roker has been a familiar presence in our homes, a trusted voice, a steady companion to morning coffee and routine. His warmth, humor, and resilience made him feel less like a television personality and more like family. But when Al's health crisis forced him away from the screen, the nation worried about the man they knew so well. What most people didn't see was the emotional weight carried by the woman standing just out of frame, his wife, Deborah. Deborah is no stranger to strength. A respected journalist in her own right, she has spent a lifetime telling other people's stories with grace and clarity. Yet during Al's recovery, she faced a challenge no newsroom could prepare her for: the quiet, relentless strain of loving someone through uncertainty. When Al was hospitalized, life shifted overnight. Familiar routines disappeared. Days were no longer measured by broadcasts or schedules, but by small victories, stable mornings, hopeful updates, moments of calm. And in those long stretches of waiting, Deborah became more than a spouse. She became an anchor. She sat through silence that felt louder than words. She learned to balance optimism with realism, and she made choices every day not to let fear take over, even when it knocked persistently. What makes Deborah's story so powerful isn't what she said publicly, but what she didn't. There were no dramatic statements, no public breakdowns. Instead, she offered quiet reassurance, measured honesty, and unwavering presence. In a world that often equates strength with visibility, Deborah showed us another kind, the kind that endures without applause. For viewers in their 60s, this story resonates on a deeply personal level. It speaks to long marriages tested not by scandal or distance, but by time, health, and vulnerability. It reflects the unspoken truth many couples come to know: love evolves. It becomes less about grand gestures and more about patience, partnership, and simply staying. Deborah once shared that watching Al fight his way back reminded her how fragile life truly is. That realization didn't weaken her, it sharpened her sense of gratitude. Each shared moment became more intentional, each laugh more precious. And yet, the emotional toll was real. Supporting a partner through recovery often means placing your own fears on hold. Deborah did that quietly. She remained composed for family, for colleagues, and for the millions watching from afar, while privately navigating exhaustion, worry, and hope in equal measure. When Al finally returned to television, America celebrated his resilience. But Deborah's strength was etched into that moment too. Every smile carried the memory of sleepless nights. Every joke was layered with appreciation for simply being there. This story isn't just about a public figure's recovery. It's about the unseen labor of love that happens behind every comeback. It's about spouses who become caregivers, advocates, and emotional pillars, often without acknowledgement. For many watching today, Deborah's journey feels familiar. It mirrors experiences lived quietly in homes across the country, where love is tested not by drama, but endurance, where commitment is reaffirmed not through words, but through presence. Beyond the headlines, Deborah Roberts' silent struggle reminds us that strength doesn't always speak loudly. Sometimes it sits patiently in hospital rooms. Sometimes it shows up every day without knowing what tomorrow holds. And sometimes it stands just off camera, holding everything together. As Al continues forward, his recovery is a testament not only to his determination, but to the partnership that carried him through. Deborah's silent struggle was never about recognition. It was about love, resilience, and the courage to face uncertainty with grace. And for those of us who have walked similar paths, or may one day, their story offers something timeless: reassurance that even in the hardest seasons, steadfast love
can still be the strongest force of all.